watching Quad Cities Live.
The 6th annual Quad Cities Success Fair is coming up next Tuesday, and here to talk more about it are Heather Deters and Shane Sawyer. Thank you both so much for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
This is such a great event to promote here on Quad Cities Live, and we want to emphasize that the Success Fair is actually open to everybody in the community, but of course there is kind of a heavy emphasis on veterans and their families. Talk about why that is.
Absolutely. So the Quad Cities, we have a very rich veteran community, a lot of people who are serving in the military as well, and their spouses. And as a thank you for all that they do for our community and our country, we wanted to have a heavy emphasis on hiring that community. But again, because it's, you know, workforce development and opportunity, we want everyone to have a chance at the table.
Absolutely. So talk about how each of you are involved in this, you know, heavily career-driven event. Heather, I'll start with you.
Okay, so first of all, both of us are veterans ourselves. So
Thank you.
We just went through this recently. I am the local veterans employment rep, so I work on the employer side.
Okay.
So if you're a veteran, you come see me. I will reach out to an employer and advocate on your behalf as a veteran. And Shane is a veteran career planner.
Wow, and what does that entail?
So as a veteran career planner, my job is to help get you access to jobs and help you get job ready. I've often said that job ready isn't necessarily the absence of a job, but a balance in all things. And my goal is not just to help you with your resume building or your interviewing skills or your application strategy, but to also advise you in your best interest to help bring into balance all things in your life so that you can become job ready.
And I feel like there's like a confidence there as well, especially when you've been doing, as veterans, I don't know if you can validate this at all, but you've been doing something else for so long that I feel like, you know, there's maybe a little lapse there where you kind of, it's nice to have some guidance in that way.
Yeah, there really is, and it's soldiers and transitioning service members, you know, they have their lingo, they have their language, and it's up to us to translate that for civilian employers so they know what type of skills that they're bringing to the table.
Interesting. Okay, so talk about the different employers that are going to be participating in this Success Fair. There are dozens and dozens. I think I read like around 80.
80.
Yep.
So obviously we're not going to have you list them, but talk about the different types of avenues that people could go on just by showing up on Tuesday.
It's really, it ranges so much. You can go from anything from production to admin to medical. There will be schools present, so if you want to go back to school, if you're looking at going to college, several schools will be there. So I mean, it's so hard to list. You don't want to, you know, point one out.
Right. You don't want to like give a specific spotlight to any, you know, any few businesses.
Right.
But I mean, you guys provided us with some photos of some previous events, which is what we're seeing on the screen right now. So there's definitely plenty of different businesses and resources available. And I do like that you mentioned the education aspect of it. So this is not just what you would normally think of as employers that are going to be at this event. I mean, if you decided you'd like to go back to school, I mean, you're going to be able to talk to some people there about that as well.
That's right. Employers, educators, resources, all kinds of things. And, you know, don't be overwhelmed by it's a job fair, it's a career fair. We'll be there, so if you know,
some friendly faces.
Yeah, some friendly faces.
Heather and Shane. And Shane, if I were going to the career fair on Tuesday, how can I be best prepared? I mean, you don't want to like work yourself up in like anxiety over the situation, but there are probably a few things that somebody could do to just put their best foot forward.
Absolutely. There's a good way to game this as well. You could come into IowaWORKS on Monday, since we are coming down to the wire, and get some help with a resume. We say just because you don't have a resume, don't let that sway you from not showing up. But if you want to game it, come into IowaWORKS and get a resume worked on with us and come in. And you know what? These employers want to talk to you just as bad as you want to talk to them. So just come on in, be ready to talk about yourself quite a bit. Find Heather and I, and we'll walk you around and introduce you to whoever you want to speak to.
That is so awesome. And that is worth mentioning. IowaWORKS does have just a whole bunch of resources just to get you prepared for events like this or prepare you for job interviews. So here's the information on your screen. The Quad Cities Success Fair. It is happening next Tuesday from 1 to 4 p.m. It's at the Roglaski Center at St. Ambrose University.
Yes.
Correct?
Absolutely.
Okay, so it's a nice big space. As we mentioned, more than 80 employers, community resources for you to check out. And as Shane mentioned, you can always get help with that from IowaWORKS. Thank you both so much for being here.
Thanks for having us. This was awesome.
Yeah, well, good luck with the event on Tuesday. I hope it's a success fair.
Thank you. Thank you.
I hope we're successful.
Exactly.